because fly fishermen are alcoholics.
Yeah, exactly. That has a tendency to play into it, I believe, is just the fact that
Fly fishermen and bow hunters like to drink whiskey.
yeah, exactly. And they like to congregate in one location and just drink
And lie.
and lie to each other.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is. Lie to each other and just make shit up.
I mean, if you think about it, the stories that both hunters and fishermen tell go pretty well with whiskey.
Absolutely. Cigars and whiskey,
Yeah.
red meat.
Yeah, for sure. I used to smoke cigars every now and then. I don't do that anymore.
No,
No,
just
drink whiskey.
just got in the way of whiskey. I get it. I get
Cigars got in the way of whiskey. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
No, it didn't get in the way. I just had this like sinus infection for like 2 years. And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, yeah,
That'll play- yeah.
don't need cigars on top of
I
it.
feel like that's probably a good call.
Yeah,
Yeah. See, that's called being a responsible adult right there.
yeah.
Sinus infection. And so I decided to stop doing something that caused that. Whereas a kid, like me as a kid, I would have just kept doing it because I like doing it. You know? Maybe that's
sure.
because I'm impulsive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
I didn't know we were confessing today on the podcast about.
Or not. I mean,
Oh.
I'm not telling you people anything. You're savages. A bunch of mutants. So, well, we are at the kind of where this, like, our podcast kind of really got started with Full Draw Film Tour when we interviewed Jeff Bonham and Jared Kennedy. Pour one out for those two. You know.
Can't
dudes.
believe you'd let Jeff Bonham on this thing. Man.
Well,
He's
he hasn't been back since, I don't think.
No, he has. Yeah, he's
Oh,
been
yeah?
back a couple. He's been back a couple times. He was on the live podcast. Yeah, and
I'm pretty sure me and Jeff are related somewhere.
You two-
long, distant,
feel
down
like-
the line.
yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
You two, like, if standing next to each other, I absolutely be brothers.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I'm
I don't know if
pretty
you'd-
sure we're related.
Do you
at
think
some
you'd
point.
scope yourself?
No,
Yeah.
Jeff. Why did you scope
What?
yourself on a grouse?
A grouse, exactly.
Okay, I will say this though. I can't make too much fun of him because Jim Shockey has scoped himself a shit ton
That's
Yeah.
on his show,
Yeah, good
I-
call.
and Jim Shockey has hunted all over and
He's a
has
killer,
shot a
dude.
rifle since
Yeah,
forever.
like just
Like,
came out
yeah.
of his mom with a rifle.
But at the same time, Jeff, you shot a grouse. Let's
Yeah.
not scope ourselves on a grouse.
With a 270.
Yeah, I'm kind of terrified of scoping myself. I feel like I would be the one dude who like would have to wear an eye patch for the rest of his life, have like a glass eye. 'cause
Yeah,
I put my,
so I have
put my
a pretty
eye out.
good scoping story from college, and I wasn't there, but I saw the
Or those are where all the good scoping stories start,
That's
right, in
right.
college.
I saw the aftermath of the scoping,
Oh.
and one of my buddies named Chad Stokely, he took one of his good friends out to shoot a pig one night, and this kid, he was city boy. I don't know if he'd ever shot a gun before. Like he was like, all right, I'm gonna let you shoot a pig.
Okay.
He had a 300 Win Mag. Like they pull up to his feeder. They're hunting at night. They spotlight the feeder. There's a group of pigs there, and this poor guy, man, he throws up on top of the rack, and dude, he puts his eye against the scope.
Oh no.
And I'm not even kidding. I think it was like 20 or 30 stitches. Like that's how bad it was. It was bad. It was a complete circle.
Oh
like
my
it was like
God.
3/4 of a circle, basically from one side of his eyebrow all the way around to the bridge of his nose, and it was a lot of stitches.
Did he ever go back out again?
I don't know, probably not.
It's kind of like those kids that quit playing baseball because they got hit in the face one time. You know,
Yeah.
when they're playing like at 8 years old,
Like that's literally how I got on base when I was a little kid.
Taking balls to the face.
Like, yeah, to the head. I got hit a lot. Because I'm a pretty small kid. Now I'm just a fat piece of crap. But back then I was a little small kid, and so I'd have to stand pretty close to the plate. And lo and behold, get out there, Bullman, take one for the team.
Hey man, you're tough. You stuck in there.
I got hit one time straight in the head. I woke up and was on first base and was like, what happened?
Oh man.
Yeah, like I think like 10 times in a game. 10 times in a season, I got hit by buy a ball to get on base. It's kind of way it worked for me.
It's all right.
Hey,
Got to take it for the team sometimes.
exactly. Somebody batting the bottom of the order like I was, So
We got the 9-hole in there. He's going to for sure get hit by a pitch.
Stick that elbow in there, baby.
Take one for the team, Dorn.
Yeah.
Well, we're at Tailwaters with old friends Brandon Shook, JT Larkin for Full Draw Film Tour.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to set up for this thing. I didn't really know a whole lot about it till you texted me earlier in the week.
Like, hey, it's happening.
Yeah, I came 2 or 3 years ago to the Full Draw Film Tour when it was at like a theater over there east of Dallas.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That would have been the first year.
yeah, I think it was the first year,
Yeah.
and that was like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I
Yeah.
don't know. It was a while
Awesome.
back. Yeah, it's a fun event, man.
There is some cool ass videos, and I'll ruin it because this is the last one we're doing in Texas. But there is a video in here of dudes shooting ducks with bows.
Nice.
Yeah, duck hunting with a bow, which we were watching and we're like,
It's not Tim Wells, is it?
maybe it is. I don't know. There's a couple dudes shooting ducks with a bow.
Well, the one that does it for me, though, is South Cox, man.
That
Golly. I
Dude.
mean,
that's
it's
yeah.
incredible.
At like 3 yards, 4 yards.
Yeah.
He shoots just this.
Giant.
I'll tell you what,
elk.
South Cox he's a good with a trad bow.
Yeah.
He's a goofy looking son of a bitch, though. I'll tell you that. I was looking at him. I'm like, man,
Hey, look,
but he's a hunting son of a bitch.
to be that sneaky, I'll take it. I'm a goofy looking guy, man.
Dude,
so I'll
there's
take
not
it. If I
one
could
of
be
us
that
that
sneaky.
isn't. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was. I was like, man, that guy. He wears a beanie well. I'll tell you that.
He wears a beanie well.
He wears a beanie real well. But
That's a weird thing to say. That's
mean-
like saying that you wear a visor well.
Well, it's
I mean,
kind of
like-
like it's kind of like when a girl is asking about somebody and they go, well, tell me about it. Well, he's a nice guy. Well, you already know. You already know. Uh-oh.
not good.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that all growing up.
Me,
Same.
same. He's a nice guy. He's kind of funny. That's all I had. That was the
kinda
best.
funny.
That's the best I got. He's got a weird sense of humor.
Yeah, I call it the shook charm.
Yeah.
That's how I got my wife, man. Give her that shook charm, you know.
Exactly. That's the way. And if somebody's gonna be weird on this podcast because Austin and Jordan aren't here, I'm gonna have to pick the slack up. Jordan's normally real good about being weird.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
weird-
I was going to say, like, I'm kind of missing Austin and Jordan being
Yeah.
here.
Well, fun
because
fact, Jordan and I went to the same high school.
Yep, that's right.
Yep.
every
crazy.
Full
every
circle.
time I've been on the old Stormwater Creek podcast has been with Jordan and Austin and you.
Yep.
And yeah, so
I know. I told him I was like, I'm doing a podcast with JT Larkin. They were like, oh, are we just not invited to podcasts anymore? I'm like, both of you are never here anymore. You've been in Europe, and the other one's been in Houston. So I got specific orders to keep this thing moving forward, and that's what I'm doing. You know,
yeah, I think I've given up on the podcast game just because
I
I,
get
don't
it.
know how to make money on it.
there's no way to.
I'm just going YouTube.
I mean, unless you're Joe Rogan,
I'm just going YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah.
you got to check it out. You got your last couple videos are making me want to clean my garage out. First of all, so
Yeah.
I have some room to do some things, and set up a bow shop in there.
Yeah, well, the only reason I did it is because I've had my bow shop at work for the last 5 years or so, and I tinker too damn much.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, instead of leaving my bow set up and just shooting,
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I think I need to take 2 twists out of the cables, shorten it
Yeah.
up a little bit, or add a couple of twists and lengthen it. Like, I don't practice, I just tinker.
Yeah.
And so,
This will give you time to like practice at work and then tinker at home.
yeah, but I'm just not going to tinker anymore. I
Yes.
set my bow up yesterday, and it's shooting right now better than any bow I've ever owned. Like,
Yeah.
it's right up there with my E35 from like 2015 when I went on my moose hunt.
Oh,
like,
wow.
it's shooting good.
How much tinkering should you do with your bow?
Probably not a lot.
Not a lot?
Just get it shot in and make sure it's tuned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And I tried this last video I uploaded. I tried to kind of, talk about it a little bit. But a lot of guys will go to a bow shop and they'll buy a bow and they'll immediately tune it. The bow shop will help them get it tuned before they leave the shop. But the problem is is I really think you need to shoot 60 to 100 arrows
Yeah.
before you even mess with tuning it.
Just because of like
Because you
form and all that?
No,
Just-
because you need to get the strings and cables stretched in.
Okay.
Because, I mean, they make some really good strings and cables nowadays, but they're still going to stretch just a little bit. So, like,
Yeah.
I set my bow up the other day, and the zebra strings, they aren't great that comes on a Matthews.
Yeah.
However, I decided I was just going to go ahead and shoot the stock strings this year during whitetail season because, I mean, you know, whitetail hunting, I don't shoot over 40 yards anyway. Like, I'll be able to get it, you know, get them shot in and get it tuned.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. And then next year before I head out west again, I'll put, you know, a good set on it. But, you know, I shot 60 or 80 arrows into those strings, and my string twisted a little bit, so I had to move that back. But, you know, if you don't shoot them in, it's very possible that, you know, one cable might stretch a little bit and the other not.
Yeah.
Or, you know, the string's going to twist on you. And, you know, if one cable, the way these two cams work nowadays, if you get one cable that stretches a little bit, your bow's completely out of time again.
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys, they'll, you know, buy a bow. Before they leave the bow shop, they're tuning it. And they get home and they start heading out for a hunt. Everything's changed. They have
Yeah.
no idea why. It's because they didn't shoot
My
the
side got
strings in.
bumped. No.
No, it's because you didn't. It's because you
Yeah.
didn't shoot your strings and cables
Yeah.
in. And so before I even start with a bow, like I'll shoot 60, 100 arrows through it, and then after the strings settle, you know, I even left my bow in my garage the other day. It doesn't get too hot in the garage that it's going to mess your bow up.
Yeah.
But that heat also helps stretch those cables.
Yeah,
in.
kinda just-
so.
Relaxes everything.
Yeah, and so I left it in the garage the other day. I shot 60 or 100 arrows and I tuned it, and I mean, I literally got a bullet hole out of that new Traverse in 2 arrows.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been shooting the bow a lot. I normally start, you know, June or July. I would love to be able to say that I shoot my bow year round and I just always practice. It just doesn't happen. After deer season, I'm like, all right, go up and pull the fishing rod out and let's get after it. And then about June or July, I start shooting. And then August, I put up a tree stand and I start shooting out of that. But I tell you today, my buddy Scotty, who will be here tonight, he brought over his new tree saddle, and I got to try that out. Whew, man, I'm so glad I bought one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went ahead and picked one up, and I think it's going to be a game changer for public land in the state. Like, the ability for you to go, it's so light. That's the biggest thing. The platform, the whole setup, the whole 9 yards is just, there's nothing to it, you know, and just how comfortable it is. I think the biggest thing that I'm going to have a problem with is just getting comfortable just sitting there, you know. Like, standing there is fine, but I feel like just sitting in my backyard kind of like, man, this is not bad at all, and had the reclining strap on and everything, and it's like, this is not bad at all. But I feel like hour 2, you're going to be like, all right, how do I, you know, I'm going to need some knee pads or sit around the tree somehow. So, but it's an interesting thing to have, that's for sure.
It seems like the tree saddles are on like their second life. Like I
Yeah.
feel like a long time ago I remember like hearing about tree saddles.
Yeah.
And like with this, you know, the new public land whitetail movement with the hunting public and with the guy from Meat Eater, the Wired to Hunt or whatever.
Yeah, Mark
whatever-
Kenyon.
Yeah, with Mark
Yeah.
Kenyon. It seems like that the tree saddles are on their second leg, you know.
I mean, just how light it is, and the fact that you can get into so many variety of trees. You know, there's just anything you want to get into, you can get into, and I think that's the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to. Is just doing a lot of just hanging, just go out, e-scout, find a place, go out, set up, and sit there all day and see if you can't get something. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
I've never been in one, so I have no clue. I have
I
no
haven't
idea if they're comfortable or not.
Yeah, they're it's an interesting thing at first because you're just kind of, it's weird, it's awkward because you're facing the tree. It's completely kind of a different approach to the way you are, and you're just kind of hanging there, and so you're kind of like, okay, but you feel but there's no, like, the biggest thing I thought too was going to be like my balance would have been weird, and you just feel very rock solid in it. You know, I don't feel like I'm going to fall. I don't feel like I'm going to slip through it. So,
That's one thing I never liked about climbers
yeah.
is like the few times that I've hunted out of a climber, I've kind of cheated. Like I've taken a ratchet strap up with me. Once
Yeah.
I get in the tree, I just ratchet the bottom
Yeah.
down. Like that way I don't feel like I'm gonna fall. But
Man, they terrify me.
yeah,
I'm just afraid that I'm going to die at the bottom of a tree. And not really die at the bottom of a tree. I'd be fine with dying at the bottom of the tree. That's the thing. If I was out hunting, fell out of a tree stand and died, so be it. It was the way I was supposed to go. What I'm afraid of is falling out and just hanging there and then losing my legs and then not being able to hunt but still be alive.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That would be the worst.
I'm still one of those hard-headed people that doesn't own a safety harness.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hunt high, like 12 feet, but I mean,
Yeah.
12 feet could hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jumped
Yeah.
off plenty of roofs. So, definitely hurts.
It'll hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt.
I shot my buck last year out of a stand and wasn't wearing a harness, and I was thinking the whole time, like sitting there, I was like, man, I'm kind of an idiot. Probably
Yeah.
should be wearing one.
I mean, we were talking about with Greg Godfrey from Tethered the other night. Who hasn't done that? I mean, every single person has done that, and you know, the good thing about the tree saddle is that it is literally impossible to hunt without your safety harness.
Yeah, you're just strapped in.
Can't do it. You know, that is your tree stand. So. I was super excited to get to shoot out of it today. He's a right-handed. Scotty's a right-handed guy, so the way we had it set up in my backyard, he had to flip around, and so he kind of had the I don't know best way to explain it. Just kind of had the tether turned around with his back to the tree, standing on the platform and shot because he's a righty, and he was like, it's a little awkward. I can absolutely do it, but I don't feel like once I realized I'm not going to fall, that I'm planted to that tree because that tether's got me seat belted in. Then he started to, first shot was a little low, and then by the end of it, he's just pop, 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 driving tacks with the bow. So, I mean, that's in 4 shots. So, definitely something to don't just walk out there and do, but, give it a try.
Yeah, that seems like a lot of practice, like to actually be able to climb the tree.
Yeah.
To be able to hook yourself up in it. So I would assume you just like attach a strap to the tree, and then the strap that's attaching your like diaper harness just attaches to the tree.
Yeah, so you basically you still have some sort of climbing method, right? So you still have sticks that you have to carry. So you put your sticks up into the tree. You got a lineman's belt. You put your platform. Depends on what you want to do. You can just use your tree steps. You can get there's just a rabbit hole of things that you can be doing to kind of stand on once you're up in the tree. But essentially, you take a tether, like a tree tether, just like wrap it around the tree about forehead, eye, face height, maybe a little bit above that, and you clip onto this bridge that goes across between that connects the left and right side of the diaper, and you clip onto the carabiner, and you just kind of sit there, and you adjust that to kind of get you to pull you kind of forward, kind of just to adjust the angle, if you will, of if you have up and down the tree versus kind of how far back you're hanging versus how close you are to the tree, and you're done, and so. But you can swing around. I mean, I was swinging around the tree. Basically, the only reason I couldn't go more was because I have the trees I have is a group of trees, and they're really tight together, so I couldn't go around more. But I was able to push off with one foot and was able to spin around to shoot backwards out of it is really easy to do. That was the thing to me, is the versatility of, shot options you would have out of the thing too. So.
Rather than just being on one side of the tree in a ladder stand where you can't turn around.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got I mean, if you're going to lean out, you can lean out. But, I mean, once again, I feel like I think that's like a subconscious thing too, because you're thinking about, I'm leaning out over this thing. I've got this tree strap coming across the back of me. So all of that's kind of like right in front of you. So you're good to put your bow out on this side or out on this, to your left or your right, around all of that. So you just don't. It's not as much as it felt like it was going to be confining just from looking at it. It's not confining at all.
Well, I mean, it's like I was telling you guys earlier. Like I just started. This will be my second season to bow hunt.
Yeah.
But when I've seen guys up in climbers, either watching videos or whatever, and they have that giant buck behind them.
Yep.
and they don't have that option.
Yep.
Right. I mean, if you're right-handed or left-handed, it just seems like you're super limited.
Yeah.
With a climber, so it seems like this gives you
Yeah.
maybe more shot options.
With a normal tree stand, even though you have a safety harness a lot of the times, like it's not tight to you.
Yeah.
And so you can't use like hanging your body weight on that harness to get a shot around the tree.
Yep.
Like you can with a a saddle.
Exactly. I mean, you can use it to kind of pivot around, and somebody said something interesting too that I thought about was just like the fact that when you're standing, when you're in a tree stand, that you're just kind of the angle you look like you're sticking out from the side of the tree. Where this if you're still, you may be able to be more of like a branch because you're forking off of the tree. So I don't know how much merit there is to that, but it seemed like it was kind of an interesting thought of like, I mean, I'm big enough to look like a big tree branch,
Well, no, I get that because when I've seen it or seen videos of people, I mean, even I think Tethered has stuff on their website of, guys, but you do look like you're more, I guess, a part of the tree rather than just being in a climber where you're, it looks unnatural. Where when you're in the saddle, it does look a little more natural.
Yeah. I mean, and just the fact that it's so much lighter. That was the other thing to me, because carrying a tree stand out on public land in the dark, getting caught on crap, I mean, no matter what you do, it's going to make noise. By the time you get out there, you're going to be sweating, and it's just like, ugh.
Dude, my last public land whitetail experience here in Texas, I went to Academy and I bought a tripod that was like a 12-foot tripod.
Okay.
And I took my torch to it and cut the legs off so it was only like 8 foot tall. And I hauled that damn thing like 3/4 of a mile into Hagerman Wildlife Refuge the last time I hunted it. And that was not fun. But, there's some places you hunt, there's no trees to even put, a saddle in.
Yeah.
And, dude, I just threw it over my shoulder and just started hiking, and it's like, oh. But
bulldogged it.
But if you can get in lighter, like in a tree saddle, oh, yeah, that's the way to go for sure.
Yeah. So I was quite pleased by that. And, it was opening day of teal season, so we did teal hunting today as well, but it was uneventful.
Today's opening day?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, that shows you how much I follow duck hunting. No idea.
Yeah. If it was wood duck day, we'd have had a whole grip of wood ducks. They were everywhere at
Why are
Lake
the wood ducks
Okeechobee.
already here?
Wood ducks, from what I understand, are pretty resident.
Yeah, they just hang out?
Yeah, they stay around a lot more. We didn't see one mallard. We didn't see any big ducks. It was all wood ducks and teal. That was pretty much it. So, but it was a kind of a it was kind of a crazy morning. Yeah. There are no wood ducks in Texas. Yeah. I've learned that's what you have to do if you're a duck hunter. You have to become a really good liar. So, yeah. Exactly. You got to stay in the city limits. So,
my grandpa had a place that he sold a few years back, and it's actually a place that I've killed a ton of whitetail. Like, it was 20 acres just south of Weatherford, and I hunted it for years. And he had this little pond up at the front, and dude, you could kill a limit of wood ducks every day. Every single day, they'd be there, and they were so pretty.
They're gorgeous.
But, yeah, I just never got that into him. My little cousin would go out there and shoot. He'd go shoot him a limit of wood ducks 3 or 4 times a week, and I didn't
have a whole bunch of wood ducks. Are really good too.
Yeah,
they're probably the tastiest of ducks from my experience.
I was sitting in my tree stand one day, like the pond was like 25 yards away.
Yeah.
This big old pretty male wood duck was sitting there on the water, and I was like, I could shoot this thing with my bow right now, but I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's a legal means of take to shoot a duck with a bow.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
So, talk about being good, though.
Well, I would have shot him off the water.
Well,
I'm not shooting him flying.
I'm not. I would shoot ducks off the water.
I'll shoot a dove off a power line,
yeah,
too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Encore's problem, not mine. We did sky blast a couple dove today because we're like, oh shit, it's dove season too. We could shoot them too.
Steel shot.
Oh, Austin dumped about $6 worth of steel shot on one, and
God.
just sky blasting them high as they went over. We're like, it's like 80 yards. Let's see if we can nail one down. There were a lot of people wasting ammo this morning, I'll tell you that.
I shot 5 shells at 2 different dove. opening day. One flew by, shot 2 at him. Another one flew by, and I emptied my gun, shot 3 at him. Missed both of them, so I packed up and drove home.
Yeah.
I was like, no,
Let's go home.
I'm done.
not happening.
No.
Done for the day.
Yeah. Dove season to me has become more of a, it's just kind of like a tradition of, hey, it's that time of the year. Let's kind of get things kicked off.
Mhm.
Let's go dove hunt once, and go from there.
That's about it. It's usually that's the way I've come to recognize it too. I grew up down near Corpus, and we would hunt almost every weekend. Go
Yeah.
out and dove hunt because my dad, he hated the cold. I became a hardcore whitetailer as soon as they would let me go hunting.
you
Loved
figured
it.
it
So
out,
I
yeah.
just loved it and would go do it. My dad hated the cold, so I'd go with his friends. But during dove season, because it was so social, my dad was the guy right next to a barbecue pit with a beer, shotgun, grilling brisket, fajitas, dove, whatever. But we would hunt almost every weekend. But it seems, I lived up the Panhandle for a little while and live in Central Texas now, and it just seems like everybody gets up for opening weekend, and then maybe one other time during dove season, and that's it. Like, I personally right now don't know anybody that's just a hardcore dove hunter. I'm sure they exist.
Oh, there's no doubt.
But
They do.
I don't know them.
That's what's fun about dove hunting is the social aspect of
Absolutely.
it. And that's what I've always missed out on because
Yeah.
I've always hunted private land.
Yeah.
Either my dad's place or my grandpa's place.
Yeah.
And, they're both of the places I've grown up hunting, there's a very small group of us that are there. I mean, there's like my grandpa and me and like an uncle.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only people that hunt the place.
And you've heard all those stories.
Yeah, and so it's not like, you got 20 guys out there hunting dove and stuff like that. And I think that's probably what I've missed out on growing up dove hunting that has made it to where I don't, like, get all excited about it.
I mean,
Like,
that's exactly why I like going, because it's fun. Plus, it's a really good, I think it's a great way to get new people out. Because you can move around.
You can talk.
You can talk. Somebody can take some shots. It's not going to really matter. If you miss it,
Right.
It's not like you're like, oh, great, you just blew our spot out. We're done, So it's just like, just chill out. They'll come back, So I always think of it as a really good way when somebody talks to me about, hey, man, I've been wanting to hunt. I'm like, all right, do you have a shotgun? Do you have this? Go get your license. We'll take care of the rest, and let's go dove hunt. And then from there, we'll see what you'd like to do.
Well, but the other part you just said though too was, you can take multiple shots.
Yeah.
Usually, if you go dove hunting, like sending a deer stand, you wait. You may shoot one time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And for those folks, they may shoot one time all season outside of any sort of practice.
Target. Yeah. You definitely shoot more practicing than you do. Or should. Let me say that.
Yes,
should.
right.
I'm going to tell you right now, the guys that are hardcore dove hunters, they're either one of 3 things. They're either there for the social aspect of it,
Yeah.
or they just really like shooting shotguns. A lot of guys just like shooting shotguns.
Right.
Got that badass over under. And
Or they're just really bad at big game hunting.
yeah, they're just like,
I mean, yeah, the
I don't
people
get
that the people that will get pissed off for me saying that are the ones that are bad at big game
exactly.
hunting. For sure.
That's the thing. I mean, I'm bad at big game hunting, but at least I'm like trying to be better at it, But yeah, I've come across a lot of those people who are like, I just don't get it, man. We just sit up in that stand all day long, and I'm like, yeah, I dream about it.
That's
actually,
what you do.
It's what you do. It's great. Not talking. I talk for a living. It's terrible.
Once you have a couple of kids, especially, like that
Yeah.
time sitting in a stand without shit yelling at
Why?
you and just a wife bitching, it's like,
Why?
oh,
Why?
that's the best part.
Yeah.
Just sitting there by yourself,
Having a little
not
peace
having
and
to
quiet.
talk to anybody.
Silence. You're like,
I'm
Right.
beginning to feel like I'm a bad big game hunter. I haven't killed anything in so long.
I mean, but we're the whole reason. Not the whole reason, but one of the major reasons we're here is to talk about quite the adventure you and Rackley just got back from.
Yeah, but I didn't kill anything.
But you did. You took a shot at one.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean, did I take shot? I've taken shots.
No one actually knows that story. So what Abe is talking about is me and Justin went to New Zealand in May.
Yeah.
And if you want to see our trip, he has like a 6 or 7 part video series on his YouTube channel of our entire hunt. And we went over there with one of my best friends in the entire world, Todd. I met Todd on my moose hunt over in British Columbia. And Todd is the toughest son of a bitch you've ever met in your entire life. Like, Todd's awesome. He's from New Zealand, born and raised. He now lives up in British Columbia. He's a sheep and goat guide. And we flew over there and met Todd, and we went DIY public land. I guess technically we didn't go DIY because Todd has guided in New Zealand in the past.
Right.
But, I mean, we just went as
Yeah,
friends with him,
exactly.
and we hunted public land. Like, it was a DIY trip for
Yeah.
sure. And, you know, we hiked in the first day, and we asked Todd before we started hiking in. We were like, you know, how far is our hike in? And we started talking about it, and he's like, oh, it usually takes about 6 hours. And 9 hours later, we make it to camp right before dark.
Oh my God.
So yeah, we had a 9-hour hike in, and we hiked up a river into this absolutely just beautiful basin, and you've got mountains that basically come straight up from there. And the way we were hunting them is you glass the avalanche chutes. The country that we were in on the west coast was so thick that you basically just have to wait until these tahr come out on these avalanche chutes to feed.
Yeah.
And, you know, where the rocks have fallen and stuff.
And about how high are you up in the mountains?
Well, so you got to think New Zealand's an island.
Yeah.
And so we're starting at sea level. And I think where our camp was like 1,400 feet. And then, like, we were going to like 2,800 feet to where the animals were. I think Justin may have killed his tahr at like 3,500 feet, maybe 4,000 feet. But, you know, I mean, it was just all hard miles, just hard miles on the boots. Like, the avalanche chute that I hunted, you could see it from camp, and by rangefinder, it was only 1,500 yards. But to get there, it took 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, I hiked up there one day and hunted by myself. I guess I should say that the 7 days we were in New Zealand, we had 1.5 days of huntable weather that didn't have, didn't have rain, didn't have clouds move in. And I truly believe that I would have killed, you know, something with my bow had I had 3 days.
Yeah.
Because we had seen animals in this avalanche chute almost every day, just kind of in between the rain showers.
Yeah.
And, you know, looking back on it now, maybe I should have weathered some of the rain showers and just hunted.
Yeah.
You know?
Just
like,
caught those little breaks and got out.
Yeah, because where I was hunting, it was close enough that I could get down, you know. But there were some river crossings when the rain got real bad that were kind of tough. But, you know, it was just, we didn't get to hunt a lot, and I think I would have killed something if I would have had a little more time. But basically, I was hunting an avalanche chute, and these animals would just come out of the real thick stuff. And we saw tahr, we saw chamois. I had a bull tahr at 125 yards just up the avalanche chute the one afternoon that I did get to hunt. And he never came down and gave me a shot. And, you know, what really messed me up on the trip is when I was hunting this avalanche chute, the closest shot I could have was 50 yards.
Yeah.
And so I moved my sight to 50. And I slept in a cave that night. That's in Justin's video, like just a legit cave. I couldn't find a flat spot for my tent. I'm all up by myself up there, so I'm just like, this cave will work.
Yeah, fine.
So slept in the cave that night, woke up the next morning, and you could just see the rain moving in. And I had messaged our friend Wendy that was in camp, and then also the warden that was down there, and just said, hey, what's the weather looking like? And they both kind of said, you know, it's getting pretty shitty.
Yeah.
Probably should head down, you know, in a couple hours. And so I bombed down the mountain. You know, I hunted some that morning, so I left my sight on 50, and I bombed down the mountain. And I'm not even kidding. My bow, once I got back to camp, from some of the rocks and stuff we were going down, my bottom cam was so tore up from being strapped to my pack and hitting rocks that I wasn't even sure if my bow would shoot.
Yeah.
I had a cut strand on my string right below my peep.
Oh, my God.
I had my bottom cam beat all to hell. And so, for some reason, I just didn't think, like, move your sight back to 20 yards. Like, my sight's never not on 20 yards.
Yeah.
And so I took a spoon. This is how bad my cam was. I literally took a spoon and scraped all the burrs off my cam.
Oh, my God.
So that it would still shoot. And I drew back at camp. I shot an arrow, and it still shot. So that afternoon, the weather cleared right at dark, and there was an avalanche chute that was, I'd say a mile or so from where our camp was. And so right before dark, I just started hiking there, me and Todd. And like I'd already kind of assumed my hunt was over.
Resigned yourself to that, yeah.
And you know, the avalanche chute where we had hiked into, like that a mile from camp, like even there, most likely the closest shot I would get would be 50 or 60 yards.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like I wasn't real worried about moving my sight back and all that stuff. Well, we come around a corner, and there's a tar at like 10 yards. He takes a couple of jumps and stops at 22 yards. And I, as calm as could be, knocked an arrow, didn't range him, judged him, knocked an arrow, hooked my release, drew back, held just a little high so that I'd clear a rock. Like I held, maybe an inch high of where I really wanted to kill him. Made a perfect shot and watched my arrow fly like 2 feet over his back. And as soon as my release went off, I remembered. I was like, oh
no.
Yeah. I was like, yep, that figures. Fly all the way over here and don't put your sight back.
Get that chance and then have a 50-yard pin knock you down.
Yeah. So I went back to my 4-pin. I was shooting the spot hog double pin, and I really like that double pin. And I mean, I like a single pin for hunting, but I think there's way too much room for error.
Yeah.
I think there's too many times that you can forget to put it back.
Yeah. And
whereas in a 4-pin sight, I've got 20, 30, 40, 50. I would have never moved it.
It's just out of sight, out of mind. I mean, you're just like, that's what it is.
Yeah. And then, if I need to dial down to 70, 80 or whatever, I can.
Yeah.
But, with me being able to shoot 50 yards, sitting in that avalanche chute, I would have never moved my sight.
Yeah.
So my 20-yard pin would have been there on that tar.
Yeah, you did.
But, it was a good time, man. It was an awesome trip. I have to go back. Like, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I think the whole trip cost me $1,500. Like, I had points for an airline ticket.
Yeah.
So you got to add that in there. So, I mean, you're still looking at $2,500.
Still, for that kind of an adventure is pretty good. Yeah,
and Justin killed a giant. The day that I slept in the cave that night, when I had the tar at 120 yards, they went up a different mountain, him and Todd, and he shot like a 14-inch tar.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting stuck on the mountain, couldn't cross a river to get back to camp because of the storm that I outran. And
that was the one it was basically turning into waterfalls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they ended up getting stuck for a couple of hours at this river in the dark. They're soaking wet. Justin's been hiking down with a 75, 80-pound pack with a tar in it, and it was kind of almost one of those like situations where it's starting to get serious.
Yeah.
Like Justin had fallen in the river. Like it was bad. The winds were blowing 60, 70 miles an hour at certain points of time.
Jesus.
Like it was getting to a bad situation. Todd, has hunted New Zealand his entire life.
Yeah.
And he even said, that was a pretty bad one. He's like, that was sketchy. And they ended up using a trekking pole to just kind of check the water level. And it went down enough in an hour that they were able to just jump in and cross.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good trip, man. It was fun, and I will definitely be going back. Rackley's got the hunting bug now, man.
I mean, it seems like it. I mean, everything. It's just before there was very little hunting videos, and now it's like.
Yeah.
He's been to Africa.
He went to Africa. He just got back. I sent him up to a spot in Colorado.
Yeah.
And he got on a 6-point bull the first day. Made me feel good about myself.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about, as somebody who's a brand new elk hunter, never been before, there's something about watching other people who have never hunted elk that is highly enjoyable to me. Because it's just like, you can just see a level of excitement that other people just don't have who've done it forever. It's just I think I'm not that they're not excited. I just think there's like a twinkle in someone's eye.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like when you go up there the first time and do that, and just even on that video, just him looking around. When you get up to country like that, when you're from here where it's flat and.
Yeah, that twinkle slowly starts to turn into hatred.
As you just
never kill anything.
You're just like, oh my God. All I do is look, but I never touch.
It took me 4 years to kill an elk, and I got that one handed to me. Like,
Yeah.
I was on elk every day on my New Mexico hunt, but, like, that one was just meant to be.
It just happened, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. That it's to do something like a tar hunt in New Zealand. I mean, just to go to New Zealand in general would be fun, but to go to do something like that is every time I've seen anything over there, it's just
It's the
breathtakingly
prettiest country
beautiful.
that I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And what was weird to me, you know, you drive around Texas, you
Yeah.
can't drive half a mile without seeing litter everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
paper,
Something,
cans,
yeah.
bottles, just shit all over the side of
garbage.
the road.
Yeah.
I drove around the entire island, the South Island in New Zealand. I saw one piece of litter the entire time I was
Yeah.
there.
Why do you think that is? People they just kind of
They
don't do it.
care.
Yeah, they just are
They
like,
care. Yeah.
we're not gonna trash this. Just throw it in your truck. Like, don't be an asshole.
But what's really weird is, you know, there's no litter there. They care. But then they have, like, the DNR, I guess that's what they call it,
Natural resources or
Department of
whatever.
Natural Resources, whatever their fishing game
Yeah.
is. They, like, drop poison pellets,
Yeah.
like, out of helicopters to kill tar and red deer. And it's like, really? It's like that, all the streams and rivers and, like,
Yeah.
stuff they have, like,
Seems like it would be.
heard stories they accidentally dropped a bunch of them on, like, a kiwi bird nesting ground and killed a
God.
bunch of kiwi birds one time. Like,
I've never gotten that. Like, I feel like there's better ways to handle things than poison. For just about anything.
Well,
you know. I mean,
okay.
short of rats in your house. You know.
what damage is a red deer or a tar doing?
I mean-
don't care how many there are. Like, walking around the jungles over there, I mean, that's what it is. Like,
Yes.
especially the West Coast.
Yeah.
It is a jungle. It's like Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like, it is just a rainforest.
Yeah.
Like, they're not going to eat all the vegetation. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't care how many you got.
Yeah.
Like, they're fine.
And maybe come up with a way to handle that. You know. Maybe give some hunts away or something. You know.
Yeah, let's just not drop poison
Yeah,
pellets.
I mean, I've never gotten that. I've never understood it. I mean, I get from a perspective of somebody who's had some loss of revenue that they may be like, no, it's time to nuke these things, you know. But I don't know. I never have gotten to where I thought that was a very good idea, you know.
they're talking about it in Texas with pigs, and
I know.
I don't
It's
like.
real.
I understand that they need to do something, and I
Get it.
understand that might be the only way to do it. But man, there's a lot of collateral damage.
There's absolutely going to be some eggs that get broken in that
Yeah.
in that omelet that's getting made, you know. So
Mhm.
I can't imagine what's going to happen. You know, the moment you open up a deer that's blue inside, it's going to be on. That's
Yeah.
not good. I mean, and that's good. It's just I feel like it's going to turn people off too. That somebody who may want to get into it's like, man, I just don't know. I'm not going to take the risk of bringing home meat that has been poisoned, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't like that at one bit. You know, so.
Yeah, it's a weird deal, man. There's certain, you know, certain little quirks about different countries, and that's the one thing I noticed there. It's like they're so environmentally friendly with so many things. They're like, oh, we're gonna drop
Except,
poison.
yeah, except we're gonna do some poison.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a good trip, man. I really highly suggest if you ever have the desire to go to New Zealand, just
Yeah.
go. Like, fly over there, get a rental car. They have DNR like offices,
Yeah,
and all you do is you get on the internet there at the office, and you tell them where you want to hunt, and the license is free. You just have to buy. You have to just sign up for it
yeah.
online,
It's just a
and you just save that to your phone. They have a map app, almost like OnX. It's not nearly as good as OnX,
Yeah.
but they have a map that you can
Here
do
you
on
are.
your phone. You know, I use that over there. Yeah, basically just hike in and hunt. I'm gonna tell you right now, go to the west coast of New Zealand, hike in on a trail,
Yeah.
just go hunt the avalanche chutes. You'll kill something,
you'll-
especially rifle hunting.
yeah.
So
I think that would be awesome. I mean, just to go over and hunt something like a tar or a chamois would be incredible.
it's a long flight for a goat.
Yeah, yeah. How long did it take?
It's like I was on one plane for like 16 hours.
That's a
think.
lot.
Yeah.
That's a long. 16 hours on a plane is.
Yeah, you know, the hardest thing about New Zealand and going anywhere that it's that far of a flight is your travel days take up so much of your trip
Yeah.
that, you know, we got to hunt 6 days, and then we had 2 days getting from the airport to where we were hunting and then back. Like, I was gone 12 days
Yeah.
just to hunt 6.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, that's hard, man.
That's. I was. It was funny because I was talking to my wife about it. You know, I wasn't talking to my wife. I was talking to Scotty about hunting, and just how I've kind of gotten this mule deer bug in the state of Texas here. And he's like, "Why don't you just start putting in for Colorado?" Or I was like, "Oh, I mean, I know I'll." He's like, "You'll draw pretty quick." I'm like, "Yeah, I get it, but." And I'm putting in for them. The thought to be able to go to Lake Meredith and hunt in 5 hours and be able to roll up there on a Thursday after work and hunt Friday and Saturday and Sunday and come back home, that's super appealing to me, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Especially to my wife, who's like, "You're gone how long?" You know? So.
My wife is a saint. I don't know how she puts up with me.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Yeah, I have 5-year-old twins, so yeah.
I have 3 dogs.
The fact that she lets me run off like she does, she's pretty awesome. But
Yeah.
I skipped this year. We're taking the kids to Disney in October, and so I skipped
In
all
Orlando?
of my Orlando. I skipped all of my out west hunts this year for her. So you gotta make those tough decisions sometimes.
That was me last year. I was gonna go on an elk hunt, and she was like, "Let's go to Paris." I was like, "All right, fine."
Got to keep the wife happy.
Exactly. So Orlando's fun. We had our work event for Orlando, in Orlando this year, and went to Universal Studios.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're gonna
the
go
Harry
do
Potter
that.
thing.
Disney's expensive, man. I didn't realize how expensive it was.
My wife my wife's a huge Harry Potter fan, so we were gonna go, and she bought the ticket. She was like, "Wow, that was a lot. That was
Yeah.
a lot of money."
Yeah, for sure. My next hunt's gonna be probably elk next year, I would guess.
Yeah.
A year from now. I mean, other than just whitetail hunting and stuff.
Yeah.
But I've got sheep show booked in January. Depending on what happens in the next couple of months with my work and stuff, I may book a sheep hunt. I haven't decided.
And when you were talking about sheep show, I was like, man, I think that would be badass.
I told you, come on.
I know.
Reno,
That's my
then Vegas.
birthday.
Reno and Vegas.
That's my birthday.
So I'm flying into Reno on Thursday, going to the sheep show Friday,
Yeah.
flying to Vegas Saturday, flying home Sunday. It's like the best weekend ever. I did it last year. It's awesome.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a good
Sounds
time.
like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
So.
it's a good time. Gambling, drinking, and
Why not?
partying and raising money for sheep.
I mean, that's why I keep telling my brother. I don't know if he can even do it yet, but he's got a 3-year-old, and I'm like, dude, you need to be putting that 3-year-old in. Desert Bighorns. So.
Oh, that's funny. I've got a buddy. We can say this on your podcast. I've got a buddy who.
No one listens.
I've got a buddy who I tried to get him to go last year, and I'm trying to get him to go this year. He doesn't hunt at all.
Yeah.
And he said, JT, I'm not going with you to the sheep fucking convention.
I'm not going to your sheep fucking convention. I'm like, no, man. You do see.
No,
I imagine
it's the fucking sheep convention. It's not the sheep fucking
It's the
convention.
other way around.
Yeah.
It's preempted. You got to preempt it, you know. So, yeah, it seems like it'll be a lot of fun. And
Oh, it's a good time, man. They give away like 4 sheep hunts and 3 goat hunts at the Less Than One Club banquet.
that would be my thing. Is I would win one, and then I'd be like, hey,
Dude,
I'm gonna go do this until I get one.
Yeah, that's the best part is like seeing these people that have never killed a sheep win a hunt.
And just,
Dude, they are so stoked.
oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, like you win like a $30,000 hunt. It's like, oh yeah, it's pretty.
What are your thoughts
Pretty
on
wild.
like those, like essentially isn't it like over the counter sheep hunts?
Up in
sheep tags
Montana?
up in Montana.
Man, if I lived in Montana,
1000%.
I wouldn't hunt elk. I
Yeah.
would hunt sheep
Yeah.
every year. I would try killing them with my bow.
Yeah.
Like that would be my yearly thing. I would do nothing but that.
Yeah.
But I mean, being from down here, not having time to spend time up there. I mean,
Yeah.
To be successful, you would have to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
You would have to be up there. You would have to be scouting year round. I mean, you would need to go find you a ram in the summer. You know, keep on him. And if you could do that, yeah, that would be awesome. But
and then as soon as it came up,
yeah, for a non-resident, I think it's probably a waste of time. I mean, you could luck into killing one,
sure,
just like anything.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like a $2,100 tag or something like that. So I mean, that's a lot of money to just go blindly. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a non-resident in a close state, you know, say 8 or 10 hours away, that you
Idaho
could
or
go,
something like that,
you could drive up and, you know, spend a bunch of time in the unit.
Yeah.
Then it'd be worth it. But I mean, a $2,100 Rocky Mountain Bighorn, that would be pretty badass.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah. Like that's my over-the-counter mule deer here in the state of Texas that I'm chasing. I've been chasing for the last couple of years. So
yeah, but you don't even have to buy a tag; it comes with your license.
I know, it's awesome. That's why I want to go up there. So I'm going again this year. So we'll see. I'm going to spend after Thanksgiving.
My goal this year is to fill every whitetail tag I have. I've never shot 5 whitetail.
You never shot 5?
Never done it.
I make that my goal every year, and it just never comes to fruition.
The only reason I don't is because every year by about the second one, I'm like, damn it, I don't want to clean one right now.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
It's like, damn, I have some meat. I don't really want to have to clean one. I don't want to process
Let
it.
that bow down and be like, not today. You get to walk.
What I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably shoot 3 doe in the same weekend, just to knock them all out.
Just to get it out of the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 3 different broadheads, shoot 3 different doe, and then make 3 different broadhead review videos.
And just see, yeah, exactly. That's good. It's a good one.
Yeah, just get them all knocked out.
Yeah, I'm anxious. I'm shooting those bone broadheads. So I've never shot like a fixed blade like that. Normally I shoot mechanical. So I'm super excited to give those a run.
Yeah, I've never seen them. They're the single bevel, right?
Yeah, single bevel.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I've been trying to chase pigs with them, and then I got a new 300 blackout, and was like, no, I'm gonna go chase pigs with this thing.
I shot a pig with a longbow the other day, right in the ass.
Right in the old Texas heart shot him.
Yep, just shot him right in front of the flank.
Yeah.
Caught the femoral, and he ran 60 yards.
Yeah, that's I like the pig. Pig hunting's so much fun to me, but I'm ready to chase some whitetails again. It's about that time of the year, so.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I think that they're about to kick us off the podcast and start setting up this film festival.
I'll tell you what.
How did all those chairs get here?
Dude, there's an army of people here.
I've had my back to it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch these guys do all this work, and but I think they're gonna move those shells here, and it's about time to get going. And man, I appreciate you joining me on the podcast. And
yeah, thanks for having me again.
It's always a pleasure, man. You know, not as weird without Austin and Jordan, but
that's all right. We need them back.
We do need them back.
We got to do it again, so they'll be here.
He's out killing an alligator. We'll have to have you on and hear the story of the alligator killing.
Make alligator nuggets.
Dude, he's like, man, we're going to do it. I'm hoping so, man.
Dude, gator's so good.
I never had it.
I mean, I've
had it at Razoo's, but I don't count that.
That's the only place I've ever
I was
had
like,
it.
Does that count? Does that count?
It counts. I've had it at Razoo's.
I'm always like
too.
questionable. Is like, am I eating gator or am I eating like chicken that somebody fried like in a weird batter?
Yeah.
But it's good. I mean,
you definitely don't know what part of the gator you're getting.
I think it's the knee.
Yeah.
I think they only serve knee at
the
Razoo's.
knee or the asshole.
The knee or the asshole. Yeah. You're not getting quality backstraps at Razoo's probably, but I mean, my brother's from Baton Rouge. You'd think I could have scored some gator at some point.
You think a gator would have a gigantic backstrap, like the whole length of their body.
Is it just one backstrap or is it 2?
Probably like back.
Do they have a spine?
Forward and then
Yeah,
like
they got
tail.
They got a spine?
I mean, I think everybody has a spine.
Everybody has a spine?
A mammal.
But that's a reptile.
Reptile. Same thing.
I mean, I would think it has a spine.
I mean, I think even like.
Yeah, it's got to have something to connect its legs to.
What are those little
got a chassis.
What are those little weird slimy lizards called?
Like a
not a gecko.
Mud guppy or something?
I don't know. I think they have spines even.
Oh,
so.
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, we're not in the biology field, are we?
We've never shot a gator, apparently.
Oh man, that's awesome. But
All right, buddy. Well, thanks for having me.
absolutely, and go out and check out JT's YouTube channel.
Hook and arrow. I
Yep.
gave up on the podcast game because I suck at it.
You can just be on ours, man. Just come hang out with us, and you do the YouTube. You do the YouTube thing. We'll do the podcast thing, and together we'll conquer the world.
Deal.
We'll take over the world. So, well, full draw. I mean, if you're listening to this, it's over. It was awesome. I'll tell you that. People got drunk. It was crazy. Go check out Tailwaters. Thanks for letting us invade again. Sean's running around here. He's on basically no sleep. He's been guiding people on largemouth bass for like 2 days now, and
Nice.
I think he's on fumes.
I'm hoping once this all gets set up, I can talk him into filming a YouTube video about fly fishing for largemouth bass.
I will tell you, there are few things that is more fun than fly fishing for largemouth bass. I mean, there's definitely some things that are more fun, but most of them don't require fishing.
Or your pants.
Or your pants, exactly. But even a small fish feels like a big fish on a fly rod.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't know, there's just something about it. It's just a different thing.
All right, everybody.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
See
Have a
you
good one,
guys.
guys.